Hello and welcome to the mod that turns every terrorist projectile into a glaive ricochet. So that's right, you too can have your own glaive ricochet at home with any terror of your choosing. So, for example, a dart monkey, or if you want a dartling gun that bounces back and forth between all balloons, then, well, this is also the mod for you. Now, I'm not sure what the best map would be for this all ricochet mod, but I figured second columns would be a funny one since it has, lanes going pretty much all the way across the edges of the map. So perhaps we can get some nice bounces, which we're currently already getting with the 200. How about we try the spikeable? I think with this mod, anything that has a lot of pierce will obviously be way more fun to try out. Now, a couple things I do need to clarify, though, is that, for example, explosions or aura effects do not work because it doesn't create a projectile that can bounce at all, because it just explodes, like, on impact. You also need a terror that has more than one pierce, otherwise something like attack with one pierce will be unable to bounce once that attack hits a balloon. So this is kind of similar to that all-seeking mod I did a while back, but it's a bit different. I think I'd say that overall this mod is a bit weaker than that, because Ricochet is just weaker than having Seeking in general, because Seeking, I believe, can do more, like, single target damage, whereas with the Ricochet, if a terror hits a balloon, then it can't hit it again, I believe, on that same shot. So therefore, your single target damage cannot go any higher than what it is at base, but it does improve your, group pound power and your accuracy. Like, there's no way in hell that a 320 Dart Monkey in this spot right now should be able to solo 15 rounds, but here it is. Look at it go. And of course, not only that, but the balloon has to be close enough to where the projectile is to be able to bounce, whereas with Seeking, I think if you did, like, a Skytrader Seeking, then it'd be able to seek, like, throughout the whole map no matter what. Also, let me just drop a Churchill real quick. Again, I picked this hero because it has high pierce. And actually, I think I lied. Notice how the projectiles are actually bouncing, even though the balloons are really far away like that. Although it doesn't reach the balloon because I think there's a lifespan limit. So I stand corrected. I believe all these projectiles act like the Glaive Lord. I think the Glaive Lord recently got changed so that its seeking, or its bouncing, is much bigger of a range, so it can seek balloons from pretty much across the map. Although, of course, most towers would have the issue of there being a lifespan limit. Anyway, we got Juggernaut now, just to see how that would behave. It's kind of interesting, too, because how Sun Columns works, at least, there's a lot of walls, so I think it's, like, bouncing off the wall and also ricocheting, as in it's still, like, keeps the effect, or the status of it be on the bounce to walls, while also having ricochet, which is kind of silly. Just look how much damage it's doing. It's hard carrying the first 39 rounds. Now, in advance for round 40, let's just try and see what the ace we do. I did mention how Seeking is OP on it, but how about Ricochet ODS with Sharper Darts, so it has 8 pierce each? Well, as you see, no Seeking right now. What if I do Wing Monkey? Can we see some bounces once the mob turns to Cerams? Yes, we can. This is where it gets a bit stronger. But again, still not as OP as the Seeking, where it would use up all 32 of the darts that's shooting out. Or is it 16? It's 16, actually. Also, I should probably get some camo detection on some of these towers. I'll just do a 300, so we can work on all the towers. Before I go for something that will trivialize the entire challenge, such as this Ultra Juggernaut, I'm still trying to think about what would, like, be as good as this thing, because I think this has the most pierce without it being an explosion attack. That's not also the boomerang, if I recall. That's why I'm basically honed in on this thing. By the way, we're playing on double issue mobs just to make things a wee bit harder. I do believe this mod works with abilities, so how about I try Phoenix? Phoenix has decent pierce, right? At least I believe. So here we go, activated. It's doing too much damage right now to actually see the bouncing, so we'll wait again. Yeah, how about for the mobs here? Here we go. Do we see some bouncing? Yep. There comes the bouncing. Very cool, Phoenix. Very cool. What's making it really strong is the fact that it does technically have, like, very light seeking, and on top of the fact that it has full range, so it'll pretty much always have something to bounce to, as long as there's multiple balloons on screen. I think I picked good there. Next on list, this is something I showed you at the very beginning, but Dartling Gun. If I do Hydra Rocket, this has the most pierce out of all the paths that actually has a projectile. Although, the problem is that there technically is an explosion with this thing, so I'm not sure how well it actually works. But I would like to think it does something, right? Let's see. For the insides here. And I see bounces, not really when the balloons are, like, that close together. Okay, then, how about with the ability? Or rather, we just, like, keep it on the left side, and you can just see it bounce like that. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That is what you want to see, those full map bounces. I'm gonna save my ability for next round. So here we go, Rocket Storm. And how does the Seeking work with that? I feel like it didn't really make much difference there. Or maybe I'm blind, who knows? But yeah, again, group rounds are not gonna be an issue, since we can maximize Pierce across all these towers here. The single target, though, is definitely a bit of an issue. Props, I'm not seeing much out of the Rocket Storm ability, because it's technically also an explosion. Because, like, once it hits the balloon, it stuns it, and does damage, so makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna just get rid of it. This is something that doesn't have good mob damage, but I just kind of want to see out of curiosity. How does Ball Lightning work Seeking-wise? That didn't seem too much, but how about we wait for something that gets a little closer? Do you see it changing direction at all? Okay, not there. Not there. Oh, there we go, there we go. It's bouncing backwards, I noticed that time. How about again? Yep. Going the other way. Oh, also, I have to use level 1 ability, level 3, Churchill, to survive that. Should we just say F it and go for the Ultra Jog? Yeah, let's do it. And also, let's give it camo, so I don't... because the sub isn't enough. But let's get it over with, okay? Maximum damage activate. If I'm looking at this properly, literally all 6 balls explode on top of the balloon. Which, I'm not sure what I expected coming out of this, but that's nice to have. Also, talking about OP towers that are Dorman keys, how could I forget the crossbow? Because doesn't that require straight lines to do well with? And also has decent pierce, so it's not just about the pierce, it's also about, like, how reliant the tower is on a straightaway. And the U-Jug and crossbow would definitely fit that bill. I think just to make showcasing some towers a bit more clear, let's Chinook the thing away. And let's just focus on crossbow. Alright, round 79, there's a Crossbow Master. I just realized that this placement kind of does get mostly straight lines when it's exiting, so we're not really seeing much in terms of that. And I kind of hate that on this map. I would love to put it in a weird spot where I wouldn't get straight lines, but you see here, it's too low elevation-wise. Maybe I'll just do, I don't know, over here then. At the very least, when the balloons get to the straight middle here, you can definitely, you know, benefit a lot from that Seeking. That being said, 205 is so bad, like, in general. Look how little damage you're getting. It's also trying to seek out the balloons at the bottom, but again, lifespan limit issues. I guess that's what this does, right? Projectile speed might mean it has, or might be able to reach further. Hold up, danger alert. I think it's about time I start moving towers back up, because putting everything in the back does not give us a lot of damage at all. So let's just move the U-Jug back now that we saw how the crossbow did, which AKA was not very good. This is good though, because again, the 6 balls explode within the small crater here, so that makes it get a lot of mob damage in before it leaks through. You can see it just turn these UMGs into, well, BFBs, which is pretty impressive considering they have, like, what, 9k HP at this point? Not bad at all. Oh, I'm dead. Or am I? Think Ball Lightning saving us, guys? Holy, that knockback. Frankly, I think I would have done that without the Seeking or the bouncing regardless, but let's try Sky Shredder now. And you can see, when it's on top of the ZMG, it's doing the bouncing thing, or any balloon at all. It just needs to be on top of one, and then we get so much DPS going in. It's pretty nutty, isn't it? Yep. This is probably number 2 on the list of towers that benefit most from this. If I can beat 95 here, then we're chilling for the rest of the game. Looks like I still have to use some ability just to get out of that round. As good as the Seeking is. Is there another tower I'd like to try out? I do want to try a Sun Avatar, but once again, there is an elevation issue. Now, you can see through walls with Ultra Vision Crosspath, but that's not the one that gives you range, and doesn't give you Pierce that you miss out on, so let's just randomly put one over here. And let's see, go to work. Even though I'll likely get maximum DPS because it only has 6 Pierce, I don't know. It might make a small difference, so here we are. Yeah, I can see some shots definitely not being wasted, because I'm seeing some of our bolts get knocked back, or bounce back like that. Uh-oh, though, we're getting Pierce caps. Level 3 Churchill here. Sure, let's use our Phoenix as well. But it's all good, because our Sky Shredder with Wing Monkey will be in the back to clean up everything. I should say level 10 Churchill for 99, though. Because I'm definitely not beating this. Oh, and it didn't activate in time, or rather, I guess Churchill level 10 didn't do enough damage. Unlucky. I thought it would have been enough. Let's try it again. Now, get it all in. There we go. I think that was early enough this time. Yep. Now for a double HP bat, as I once again said, we don't get any extra single target damage, so we just kind of have to hope that Sky Shredder and this thing does have enough in the tank. Otherwise, I'll buy something else. I don't think I need to buy anything else though, right? Nope. If I just use level 3? No, I think I'm dead DTs, yep. Well, we gotta use our Chinook for something, right? And that would simply just be to Chinook this thing down here. And then we'll give it a new up buff. And how about now? Activate literally everything, including level 10. And come on. Nice. That was clean. Okay, we still died to ZUMGs though. Okay, one more time here. Let's save all our abilities for the very last minute, like here. And just blast off, break down the ZMG as quickly as possible, because that's the biggest problem. So, level 10 Churchill. Come on. Oh my god, we dropped to 13 lives. Meaning we actually would have lost if we didn't get the extra lives from this and this, because this gives you 3 lives at the end of each round, and the crates give you lives too. Sheesh. You could not have made things any closer than that over there. Although we're probably dead. Okay. We're dead to fortified TTs again. I kind of want to see if I get the money for a Paragon before we end off here. So let me see if there's any way out of this, or is it Jover? I think it's Jover. Let's actually just get the money for Wizard Phoenix. So 1, we have a Perma Phoenix, and 2, we can use the Stronger Phoenix. That has Seeking. So wait for the first fortified TTT. That would be now. And let's watch it go to work. With also the Seeking or the Bouncing balls. I didn't think about that. But that is incredibly OP. I don't know how much, I forgot how much damage they do, but they definitely are a significant portion. On that same note, Inferno Ring would be funny, but unfortunately their balls don't have a lot of pierce. This one though, definitely a whole lot. So good get, although I think I'm dead now that it's off cooldown. Okay, we're alive though, but close call, eh? Yep, another time where we gotta activate our Wizard Phoenix. You also want to know what's kind of wild is the fact that this Crossbow Master over here can see such a big range because of Alpha Buff and P Mentoring that it can start using its ricocheting attacks like very, very early. So this should have been the spot where I kept my first Crossmaster in, frankly. This defense is really starting to struggle now, so after this round, let's sell everything for the Dark Paragon. I guess, again, it would be over here. Unless, actually, hold on, I have a great idea. How does the carrier flagship placement look? Because this will allow it to see over the crater, right? The only problem is that it's still not, like, the range still isn't big enough with the Paragon to have, like, a full map range, but it's better than where I proposed it to be. So let's do the sell-off after we clear this round here, which is another round that gets really close to the exit. Sell everything. It's gonna cost us pretty much our entire defense. But here we go. Degree 43, alright, not bad, not bad. Well, let's watch this go to work. It's still bouncing its projectiles off the wall, probably because there's not enough, like, things to bounce across if it's popping things so quickly, right? Here you can definitely see the ricocheting go into effect. It's keeping all the balls within the middle here, or rather it's bouncing left and right, pretty much hitting them the moment they come out. And how about for the BAD? Yup, no problem whatsoever. There's 1, there's 2, and here should be 3. You should also notice that it's, even though it's only 1 tower, it's still doing much more than if it weren't, like, ricocheting. So it's not as finicky with the behavior, because normally it would just bounce off a wall, so maybe it absorbs the first target, because it's now a ricochet, if that makes any sense. I'm bad explaining, but I hope you get the point. And now we just roll until this dies, and holy crap, how did it die already? Probably because there wasn't enough bouncing to do to start. Or no, just too weak. Damn. Another defense falls victim to round 128. Granted, it's double HP 128, but considering how well it did against the double HP ban on 119, yeah, I'm a bit surprised. Either way, I hope you gained some insight and you enjoyed how it looked, now that some towers have gained the power of ricocheting. We're going to be trying a very unique challenge today, thanks to a certain balance change in Update 46. Because in the first time in, I think, ever, they changed powers. Due to the release of the Battle Cat power, they decided to tweak the power of powers, so it's not no baby buff either. Mob Mine's damage is now up from 300 to, yep, that's right, 5,000, but also allows you to hit the same target and children with a 1-second cooldown, meaning I guess you can get up to 50,000 single target with just 1 power. Additionally, Super Monkey Storm damage doubled, Time Stop slows towers less, Camo Trap and Glue gives you 2 per purchase. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned, the Monkey Knowledge is buffed. It now gets extra Super Monkey Storm and Mob Mine damage, 25% each, longer boost, and longer time stop. Keep those balance changes in mind, because we're going to try a challenge. I want to first tell you to look at the Monkey Money amount, 785,000. This is my modded account, by the way, so don't ask if I got this legitimately or not. But here is what's up. We're going to try a challenge I did similarly about a year ago. Some of you may remember. I did a challenge where I want to see how little monkey money I could spend beating 100 rounds of Scrapyard with only powers, and just to spoil you on the answer, it took about 20,000 monkey money. But I want to up the stakes a little bit. As you can see, we are playing against Balloon Areas, because that is the single greatest thing I can see the mob mine for. Like, as I said earlier, 50,000 single target, meaning can't you one-shot Elite Balloon Areas Tier 1? In theory, the answer to that sounds yes, so we're going to try that, but also keep track of how much monkey money we end up spending throughout the whole run, just to see how much it would take to, like, you know, beat a boss start to finish. So not just 100 rounds this time, but 120. That is why, as you see right now, I'm literally just spamming road spikes for the first several rounds here, because this is the most efficient way to pop balloons if you can only use powers. That is why I said earlier, keep note of the 785,000 monkey money, because that's how we're going to track how much we have by the end of the game, or how much we spent. So that is why also on the right-hand side, I made sure to start every power that I was going to use, like, with 0, so that we could actually track the monkey money. Hence, the only powers that are useful was, of course, Super Monkey Storm, Time Stop, Glue Trap, and this thing, and of course the Road Spike, which I bought a chunk of already, because they are the most efficient. They have 21 per spike pile, balloons they can pop. And I've already done the math beforehand to show that only when a round has more than 210 balloons on the screen is it worth going for Super Monkey Storm over the Road Spike. So that's why we're just going to keep spamming Road Spikes for, I believe, the first 21 rounds-ish, while also playing on Scrapyard so that we can make use of the Crusher to pop, you know, a little more balloons, meaning slightly less Road Spikes used. Now, round 18 actually has more than 210 balloons, but if I use the Crusher, I can probably... Oh, crap, I'm leaking. Time to spam Road Spikes, but that Crusher probably saved more than 30 balloons, so I'm a call worth. Now, I went much more try-hard in my initial run of this, but considering, like, I'm gonna spend a lot of monkey money anyway for the later rounds, we're not gonna be too anal about min-maxing the early game here, but I will tell you the general strategy here is once there's too many balloons on the screen, well, we just do this. Glue Trap to slow balloons enough for the beginning of the round, and then blast off. Alright, another Super Monkey Storm to end off this round. Road Spike or Glue Trap is gone. Let's refresh it. Let's use Crusher this round. And yeah, rinse and repeat. And I guess seeing this, we also have to drop another glue back here so that they can get re-glued, because it doesn't last forever, as you can see. But yeah, on average, at least 100 monkey money, aka 1 Super Monkey Storm per round. Now, to make things less annoying, I was considering maybe using the Battle Cat, but since it doesn't have a monkey money value attached to it for reasons, I don't think it makes sense to use them, like, even though it would be more convenient for the early game. Besides, we are out of the early game with this Super Monkey Storm, and now comes the boss. As much as I want to use a mob mine, I think it would actually just be more efficient to, like, ignore Balloon Areas altogether and focus on beating the rounds as we normally do, because remember, Super Monkey Storms do 5,000 damage. 5,000 thanks in part to the extra monkey knowledge. So wait, doesn't that just get to go straight up? Yeah, it does. Okay. Actually, now that I think about it, no, this is bad. Let me just mob mine this. So as you see, each mob mine tick is about 625 damage. Huh. I thought it did more than that per tick. Oh my god, I just realized, Ninja Kiwi, those dirty bastards. You know what they did, actually? I guess they shadow nerfed the amount of damage this did to, like, bosses. It's actually 1/5. That was not mentioned in the main patch note. I found it in the Balloons Wiki website. What do we do now in this case? Do we still want to go forward with our plan to beat a 3 million HP Balloon Areas with them doing 1/10 of the damage? Because let's do some math here. So with a maximum damage of 6.25k, if the mob mine hits, like, Balloon Areas the entire time, it'll take us 480 mob mines, at minimum for tier 5. That's gonna take a lot of clicking, needless to say. Thankfully, there is a hotkey for each power. I believe the default is Shift 2 for a mob mine, so it won't hurt too bad. It's just gonna be 10 times more annoying, of course, than only needing 48 mob mines. I guess I can see why they nerfed it specifically for the boss, but, like, still, this shit kind of blows. A bit inefficient this round. I forgot to refresh my glue trap, but mistakes are gonna happen over 120 rounds. Let me just make that clear. Also, important note as to how the Super Monkey Storm works. It only works on the top layer, so it doesn't soak through layers, meaning you can't just one-shot a mob. It would need 2 Super Monkey Storms to pop them, so that's why I've already dropped the mob mine down, even though it is overkill. 5,000 damage on a 200 HP target. It still is more efficient because it lasts for 10 of the mob pops for only 50 monkey money, as opposed to, again, using a second Super Monkey Storm, which would be, well, plus 100 for the round. Rainbows here. I'm gonna just tank them. Oh. Guys, I thought that was only 2 rainbows. I've been baited. Now, this is bad because, 1, I spent 50 extra monkey money, so that's gonna count towards my total count. And bring on tier 2. Once again, since you saw earlier that the mob mine is 1/10 strength, I think I'll just make the executive decision of only Super Monkey Storming, the balloons coming in, like, with it doing 4,000 damage each, like, ability, it should wipe, Balloon Areas as well. The only issue is, again, those stupid yellows. I guess I'll time stop to buy time. That I see is one added issue of, well, a boss on screen, especially Balloon Areas. Maybe I should have picked a different boss that has less HP. Yeah, I think some of them would have actually been easier than Balloon Areas, right? Okay, mob mine up here. All the mobs are out. Super Monkey Storm, 62 started. Time stop goes hard, though. It's basically, I think, a 90% slow on the balloons coming in. Pretty dank. I gotta be careful, though, not to get too close to the edge. Man, they really eat up... The balloon insides really eat up the glue traps. They were gone in an instant. And another one. And another time stop once all the yellows have spawned out, like this. Holy crap, we are already at 10,000 monkey money spent, and we're only at tier 2. I think I may have made a mistake. Yeah, mistake is a massive understatement, to say the least. I think the easiest boss would be Vortex, because there's no towers on field to be stunned. And with it having less HP, and not really spawning balloons, other than making the balloons behind it faster, but that's not really a big deal. Let me just say, I'd rather deal with that than this. Anyway, one more Super Monkey Storm should pretty much end it all. We'll use one more, and GG. Anyway, the rounds between bosses are pretty uneventful. I just do a mix of, you know, Super Monkey Storms and mob mines. And unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna get any better from here on out with, like, the stray balloons every 1% that Balloon Areas does. In fact, I think the damage is too high on the Super Monkey Storm to the point where every single time I use it, it's gonna spawn out pinks no matter what. So I'm kinda stuck, NGL. I think the best course actually would legitimately too, like, probably mob mine these rounds to get more damage in than Super Monkey Storm. And then, you know, get a bunch of pinks out at one time rather than just one. Does that make any sense? I'm gonna keep it straight with you. There are some challenges that I regret doing only after trying them. This is one of them. 99% of it just has to simply do with the boss. Like, it's so annoying. I don't know how to possibly deal with this anymore. I can't. I'm being serious. I might just do the dumbest thing here, and that is change the boss, while still keeping the challenge in hand at tech. So basically, what I mean is I just use normal tower skits around 80. But for this loud half, we're gonna deal with Dread Balloon instead, because actually that's gonna be the easiest, because this doesn't have any of the immunities. The Super Monkey Storm will be able to clear out the leads easy peasy, or the rock balloons rather. Obviously, the final money number may not be as accurate because we beat Balloon Air, so the first couple of years would probably take more Super Monkey Storms and more monkey money in general than beating Dread Balloon, but it's something we gotta do. So, SMS. I think for most of the rounds here, you want a Super Monkey Storm as long as there's more than multiple, say, like, these type of balloons on screen. If it's around, like, say, 85 with 2 ZMGs, I think that is a certified, what do you call it, mob mine moment. But do you see how much more chill this is without the Balloon Area spawns? Man, this is more like it. 1, 2, 3 to beat 81. 1, 2, 3 to beat 82, while also doing damage, mind you. 83 requires 1 and 2. 84, 1, 2, 3, and there goes the rock layer. One mob mine for 85 here. Remember, 2 mob mines are equivalent to 1 Super Monkey Storm. And this saved us from using 2 Super Monkey Storms, because I would need 2 to get to the mob layer, since it doesn't skip. That's how we're gonna, I guess, make up the lost monkey money from Balloon Areas. Hell, even for this round, it's better to mob mine, I think. Yeah, 2 to get through that while still having enough there. In fact, we'll mob mine every layer this round here. Nice. So this round, 3 Mega Mines get us down to Moabs. Yep. 50 monkey money saved right there. And now onto Military, which we can probably one-shot with SMS too. Before that, mob mine the top layer. So that we only need 3 this round. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now be aware, I might be beating the rounds too quickly here, because we're only 1/4 through, but we're already at around 89, so I might have to spend more time, you know, mob mining Dread Balloon, rather than Super Monkey Storming the rounds coming by, yeah. I think during the downtime, we'll spam Shift 2 to get some damage in on Dread Balloon. Yeah, look at this, I'm spamming them, and the damage is clearly being chunked fairly decently, so I should probably do this more. It's much more chill that way, isn't it? What's kind of funny about this power 2 is that even though you see an explosion, it technically only has 1 pierce. The explosion is purely visual for visual reasons. If we want to minimize monkey money spent, it would simply stop at the point where, you know, I can use Super Monkey Storm to end off around 99 and Dread Balloon at the same time. So for 92, nice, 1 mob mine beats that. So that saves 50 monkey money. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. Okay, I might have done too many mob mines. We had another 5 rounds to spare, but that's fine. I gotta say, this challenge is the true definition of do not try this at home. 97 versus mob mine is super satisfying. Damn, one of them almost took it down to Moabs. Crazy. Mob mine again, 2 of them. Oh my god. I was trying to land on the ZMG, but I think it whiffed and it hit all BFBs. That's fine. 1 to 3 to clear it out. And another 1 and 2. And bring on round 100, where we will need, I guess, several mob mines. Yeah, we'll do several to get a head start. And don't mind me as we just nuke the bad underneath the Dread Balloon instantly. Because that balloon somehow takes 10 times more damage than the boss itself, man. If this was even played on a version 4, this is 46.2, by the way. They fixed a bug where it did more damage, even in 46.1. This challenge would have been about 3 times as easy. Alright, board wipe. Board wipe. Man, we need 3 Super Monkey Storms now to break down FZMGs. Pretty inefficient, but again, we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. Not to worry. Another 1 to break the shield. 2. And 3 again. For these rounds, DDTs, it's way more efficient to just simply time stop all of them. And then once everything's on screen, then board wipe. Because time stops are only 50 monkey money as opposed to 100. Anyways, I can understand the strategy is starting to get a bit monotonous with me just spamming mob mines and Super Monkey Storms, but the problem is that's the only time I'm going to be doing this strategy, and I just spammed a bunch of mob mines just for fun. I think I spammed like 50 of them at once, and that's some pretty good chunking right there. Unfortunately, the balloons coming in kind of ruined our day, so I think that's what I have to keep in mind for around tier 5. Try to separate the mob class balloons and Dread Balloon enough so that we focus the mob mines purely on Dread Balloon. If there's a way to like stall the round at all, I'm gonna try to do that. Because the only real strategy would be for tier 5 just to beat Dread Balloon as fast as possible so I don't have to deal with the other rounds coming in. And thus need to deal with more, you know, normal rounds coming in. 1, 2, 3 SMS, 4, 5, 6 to beat this round. We should probably get a move on the last 60k HP now with about 2 rounds remaining. I'm gonna do it for the ZMGs here, but first let me wait for all the F DDTs to come out. Yep, perfect. Need 2 of them to kill it. Oh crap, it's BFBs, that's fine. This being this far away, it should be perfect timing. Now, doing the math, I only need 10 of the mob mines, so let's, I guess 10. And there we go. I think in quick math, that took about 120 mob mines to beat. Remember, I gotta stock about 480 of them at minimum, so let's head over to the shop. And again, do not try this at home. I'm gonna auto-buy my way to 480 at minimum. When I mean auto-buy, I mean auto-click my way. Now, I actually might need more than 480, because I'm gonna use a couple this round. This round's actually really nice to see, like, against normal balloons. 62.5k damage, by the way, if all mines land on the same target. So that's enough to even break down one bad fully. Wow, that's crazy. I think I might have been too fast, because those... I need slowing. I need slowing. Zero Storm now? And god, that was fast. Well, I can see that power being hella useful for, like, well, late game runs for obvious reasons. Now, bring on 120. I first got to see what comes in on 120. Yeah, we have to wait for a round where there's only ZMUs on screen, and then we can, like, spam or, like, stall that balloon to focus on this, because right now it's way too early in the track to be able to pull that off. We just have to be patient. Patience is a must. Maybe this round? 1, 2, and 3. Oh my god, beautiful. I can pull this off because the ZMGs are so slow. Because now that it's past Dread Balloon, we can start shift 2ing this thing. So let me just go ahead and drop maybe, I don't know, 100 of them right now. Actually, I want to try clicking as much as I can in a 10-second window to see the maximum amount of damage. Maybe once we can see it hit through the Ceram Shield, like stop here. Look at that chunkin', boys. Shift 2 spam gets us a nice, I guess 30,000 DPS, not bad. Oh, now I realize, what do you call it? Rock Balloons might be an issue. Can I? No, I can't glue trap them, that was a waste. Now, Rock Balloons ignore the Momite completely, right? It seems like it. Although, why? It looks like they're kind of damaged, so maybe I could be wrong. All good, all good. We'll wait for a board wipe. We'll stop now. Board wipe. Oh god, I ran out of Memory Storms. I need at least 10 of them, I'd say. 1. Oh crap. 4. Ooh, I almost died. Oh, that's bad too, because now the round has come in. Okay. We'll use one of our time stops here. That's good, because now it buys time for the BFEs to not reach range. I need to kill the rock layer, so less rock spawn. That is the bane of my existence right now. So get there. Good. It stopped. Now we'll use this time to, again, try to time the balloons coming in perfectly. So we probably gotta wait for another ZMG round. Damn. We're halfway through, and we pretty much ran out of our mob mines, or 480 of them. Those dirty, dirty ceramics really did eat into our pile. Okay, 2 of them this round leads to only FZMG. That's good. I think I'm gonna have to utilize time stops. This is the last rock layer here, okay? Once we get through this, we don't have to worry about them more, then we can just Super Monkey Storm them to end it all off. Okay, we ran out of, I need one more time stop. One more now. I'll Super Monkey Storm board wipe now. Just 100k to go, so I guess 10 more mob mines. We'll refund the rest, quote unquote. We'll leave 60 left over. Actually, one more. 59, 58, 57, uh-oh. I'm dead. I'm dead. Ooh, that was close. Nice clutch. I need to buy a couple more, though, to end off the round, because you gotta beat the round first, so... There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more Super Storm to end it off, and that was not pretty, let me just say. An overall count of 872 powers used, but do remember that this doesn't count, like, before round 80, so well over 1,000 were used. My fingers hurt. And now going back to the Monkey Money menu, we're now at 712k. So refunding the value of the 57 mob mines here, we overall spent 69.2k to beat a boss. Should have spent $220 more worth of powers, NGL. Anyway, it would have been a lot more Monkey Money if it was done before this update, so silver lining, I guess. So today's mod is a simple yet chaotic one. Basically, all towers follow the track. All you gotta do is drop the tower down like you would normally, and would start at the beginning, and move on the track. I did some testing, and it's kind of similar to a green balloon speed, maybe a little bit slower. But yeah, we're gonna see how long we can make it. I put 120 rounds in pop mode here, see if we could get her done. And yeah, starting off, you can already tell that positioning is very important, because even with 3 dot monkeys, we are leaking to green balloons, so maybe I should spread them apart nicely. So let's wait. Now is good. I think 4 freshly spaced dart monkeys would hopefully be able to cover most things. I will probably try to ban the infinite range challenge, because obviously that would be kind of lame to do in a challenge like this. Definitely seems more fun doing towers that, well, require good positioning and aren't infinite range. That being said, if you're wondering how water towers work, well, let me just drop a Buccaneer right here. And it works the same way, you just gotta hover the tower over the water, and you're good to go from there. I should also note that when you upgrade towers, it actually resets positioning back to the start of the map. So that will change things up too. Also, if we lose a round and have to retry last round in Challenge Editor, then all the towers will restart stacked top each other, which is a very bad thing. So ideally, we don't lose a single round in this entire run. Black border, quote-unquote, straight all the way to round 120 here. Now, I may ban infinite range towers, but that doesn't mean I can't go for really big range towers, because I feel like right now, this 011 boat has pretty insane coverage. Not enough to reach the other side on the rink here, but maybe I'll find another tower that has even bigger range than that. I should also probably just drop Sada, because why the heck not? Anyways, I'm not sure if this counts as infinite range or not, but in my eyes, no. We'll drop in Monkey Ace, and you see, it, well, follows the pad. And I won't do center path, because that would obviously just be normal. On top of Never Miss, stuff like that. I think we're allowed to probably go for something like a Rapid Fire, and you see, it's pretty wonky with this mod. All the darts, or the ace pad just wiggles back and forth. It's almost like the ace is having a bit of a seizure, but it's doing alright. It is popping some balloons. Let's use Sod ability here, the camos. And yeah, I'm probably going to use this early game to experiment with just random towers. I'm probably not going to go for any income generating stuff, just to spice it up a little bit more. So let's see, what's a good tower you think just to play around with? How about a Spike Factory? Obviously not very good, since you can't put it at the back of the track. But basically how it works is, well, it just drops spikes. Whenever, just pretty much all over the track, wherever it is at the time. Definitely not a good tower, let me tell you that. Now, camos or leads. Let's get the hot shot, and it was totally my plan to buy it at the right time so that the buck would be repositioned to hit leads. All plan, guys. And if range is a problem, we could probably just outbuff the buck too. And I totally planned it that round too, by the way. We'll use Saw to clean the last lead. But yeah, let's see. Slow down, and we'll time the Alchemist such that it drops right about now. And you see, got it perfectly placed. Again, we just can't lose, otherwise all the towers will stack again, and the Alch will probably outbuff a 0/0/0 Dart Monkey. That's probably how it's gonna go. Now, if you could allow me to select the Alchemist, because I guess I put it way too close to the buck. I literally can't select it. Well, that means I probably just gotta do this then. Hang on. I'm gonna time it now. There we go. Just had to move it this tiny bit, and now we can go for the 3/0/0 outbuff. That should hopefully allow us to survive to the next round. I also messed up because I upgraded it, so it went to a different place, but luckily, now we got it perfectly. Actually, wait, what? Hang on. There's something a little funky going on with my towers, because so I didn't upgrade anything, and it moved it away for some reason. I don't know what caused it. Fast forwarding? No, not that. Well, either way, we probably gotta buy it again, right? Yeah, there we go. Repositioned. And it's gone again? I wonder if it's to do with Alch buffing. Oh, it is. Wow. That's a very weird mechanic, and very chaotic mechanic. Every time you Alch buff a tower, it resets too. Unlucky. It's kind of like we're playing Alchemist Roulette here. Which tower gets the Alch buff? Which one doesn't? We probably should fill the conveyor belt, quote-unquote, with good Alch buffing towers then. So let me go ahead and see. Maybe we can just drop a Sewer Monkey for the memes. Again, not good, but for the memes. Everybody likes memes. And I sure hope we have enough damage for the mob here. I'll just buy a fighter plane, just to make things a bit easier, and then Sod ability. Oh, you want to know what else might be chaotic? How about a Wall of Fire? If I could even select it. There we go. This will just drop Wall of Fire as a randomly cost track. Sounds pretty fun to me. Here's another tower that looks interesting too. Sentry Gun. What happens when we drop sentries? Does it respawn? Oh yeah, it respawns the NG every time it places a new sentry, right? Yeah. That's pretty interesting. And where does the sentry go? Is it just... Looks like there's just one sentry here. And, did we only get one sentry? Because it seems like the case. Actually, no, it's still following the NG here, but... I don't know. I don't know, hard to tell. The NG made a full rotation there without, you know, respawning a single time, so... I'm not really sure what's up. But I guess we'll spend the money something else. Then maybe we'll just upgrade this to an ODS. good general damage. Again, I know it's quote-unquote global range tower, but I think I'll allow it because it's not, again, fully seeking. You guys think the monkeys would enjoy village roulette too? Because we can do that. Basically, what I'm talking is we could do like a camo village so that any tower in range of it gets the camo. On top of a monkey discount. So let's go ahead, do this. So basically every tower we buy should be timed so that we get the discount, if that makes sense. And then of course, once we don't need the discount anymore for the tower, we time it in a way that it drops somewhere else on the track. Right now, it feels like we just have 2 giant clumps of towers. I don't know how that happened, but I guess it ended up being that way. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go ahead and drop a new alchemist over here. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, I'm dying. Crap. Restart round. You see what happens now when I restart? They all get stacked, and that was my mistake. I wasn't paying attention properly. It's okay, we can still get out of it. Just, give me some time. Actually, no, the alchemist naturally will separate the towers because it will keep dropping out buffs, right? So I guess that's fine too. We'll see if this rotation will help beat Rapid this time without any more towers, and looks like we're good. Yeah, it basically seems like the alchemist will just keep outbuffing towers until there's no more stacked top. Of course, except for stuff that you can't outbuff, like a village, for example. That one stays in place. In fact, both of them stay in place. I reckon it'd be worth moving them, though. I can't click it, so I have to upgrade the thing there. Let's buy jungle drums in this village. There we go. And let's play more Alchemist Roulette. Let's get another 3-0-0. Why not add more chaos to the mix? Like that. Alright, more fun towers. How about a blue hose next? If I can click it, there we go. And I realized that, oh yeah, it's really hard to actually get the discount working, because the moment you upgrade it, it'll be outside the range of the village. I might have to, like, rapidly upgrade it once the village hits the entrance. That's the only way to get the full discount, I guess. Alright, just so I'm safe for round 63, I'm gonna go ahead and get a, hang on. Time properly. Let's do a snowstorm ice tower, why not? We'll do a 2-4-0. Hopefully that'll be enough to beat 63 without SOD abilities. Right now, the ice positioning is coming in really clutch. Slowing those balloons that are about to exit. Is it enough, though? Or are we gonna leak? I think we're good. How's wave 2? I think we're dead. No, we're good. Don't forget the glue hose coming in clutch, too. With the big range coverage. I don't know if it's gonna be enough, though. That's a lot of balloons leaking. I'll use my ability if I have to. And I don't have to? Alright, we don't. It was close, though. Here's another tower that might be interesting to try out. How about a Dark Knight Super Monkey? So, this has a Dark Shift ability. I have no idea how it works. Like, if I use the ability, does it just respawn to the entrance again? Well, we'll find out right here. So, Dark Shift, let's see. Now? And, oh, wait, I think we broke it. He just went out of bounds. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, it's back up here. And, let's try this again. So, Dark Shift up here. And what's it do? I think it just goes back, actually, to the track. After, you know, it spawns in a weird spot. And then it just respawns back up here because, you know, alchemist shenanigans. All these towers, and we're still dying to rounds like 73, which aren't even a threat. So that means we probably need some bloom pump power, huh? Maybe I'll do stuff that might be useful later on in the game. Like, I don't know, maybe Embrittlement, +1 damage debuff. Sounds good to me. Okay, the longer this goes, the more I have a feeling we're not gonna actually make it to 120. So let's actually get some good towers. Like, for example, I would say more press. And the way it's looking, we definitely need stuff for the ceramics too, because even with the ice tower, it's just too unreliable. And the glue. In fact, right now they're stacked top each other. No idea how I can get rid of it with the apple. I think they're placed in a spot where they literally just can't move. Mon-Sod ability for the last part here, good. 82. I think I'm just gonna go for maybe a good tier 5. How about a Sky Shredder? Question is, can I even save a 20k? Because I'm struggling as it is. I probably gotta sell some towers for this. And several grueling rounds later, I think we can afford the Sky Shredder now. Come on. Or is this boat gonna be in the way? You know what? I'll just sell the boat. Screw it. There we go with Sky Shredder time. Finally, a competent tower that does have global range to an extent, but still is made different because of the rotating platform, as you see here. And what else could we use from here? I don't know. Maybe we could use a decamo cell because it feels like the village is too unreliable right now. So a 3-0-0 would probably be good enough to decam DTs, allow the other non-camo towers to affect it, like Morph Press, for example, or Morph Glue, which I want to get because it is a good upgrade. However, I lost it in the sauce. It's hidden behind a bunch of other towers now. Okay, I give up. I literally cannot select it for the life of me. There's like an ice, a Morph Press, and a glue here, but it won't budge. The only way it budges is with an Alchemist, but the thing is, I think the Alchemists are perfectly placed now, that they will never affect the tower. Just watch its loop around. Well, it did get the sub there, but I think, yeah, with this mod, eventually the towers will just keep getting dropped in position in a way, such that the Alchemist has nothing to give a buff to anymore, if that makes any sense. Like, you can see it with your very eyes here. Literally nothing's in range. Everything misses, and we're dead because of that. Low-key, I think restarting the round saved up, because now I could finally upgrade to a Mob Glue. And let's see, Sod ability for the last part here, good. Let's see if 95 is a problem. I sure hope not with the Sky Shredder and all that. But you never know, yeah. We're dead. JK, I use Sod ability. Do be coming in clutch right now, that's for sure. Alright, 98 here, come on, Sod ability again. I have 30k to work with. I don't know what I'm saving up for, but I'm just keeping it on hand, just in case. Maybe I could do something funny, like a Dark Champion, but that's still only halfway to there. Honestly, if Alchemists are working the way they are, Perma-Brew wouldn't be a bad idea. Like, buy Perma-Brew, die in a round, reset, and then Perma-Brew will give the buff to all your towers. Sounds good to me. But again, we need about 30 more K to afford it. Hopefully, free play here goes a bit easier on us. Otherwise, we will have trouble affording it. 20 more rounds to go. Alright, 103 here. Yeah, I don't think we're making it, like, at 30k, guys. These rounds are just too tough. Let's think about another good intermediate tier 5 here. Sod ability again, just to save us here. Good. I'm kind of thinking maybe a Prince of Darkness. That isn't too special because the balloons or the zombies still follow the track, but it sounds like it might be interesting seeing a rotating graveyard. So what do you say? Should we go for it? I say why not? Why not? See how it goes. Hopefully it actually does a crew zombie count. I do realize it got nerfed though, so I think the range is tinier for where it spawns zombies. But let's see if it can still do the job with cleaning up ceramics. So that's the toughest thing right now, as you see. Ceram just running by us. I think it's holding its own though. Can we check the graveyard count if you could? Yeah, it's pretty close to full. That's good for us. In fact, though, I think the Prince of Darkness is a bit of a cheat code, because you see, it keeps respawning at the front, I think, every time it spawns a zombie, or a zombie balloon. So essentially, our graveyard, quote-unquote, is added whenever balloons pop near the entrance. And that's basically going to keep us close to full at all times, so that's good for us, I guess. Guys, I think the Prince of Darkness was a good investment, because it's doing some insane cleanup for us right now. Just continuously spawning BFBs at the back so that we have our ceramic catcher right here. On top of Sod abilities if I need any. And I bet with just a bit more damage, we can take it home from here. So what's another fun thing? I would say maybe an S-Mail. Not a great tower, especially with the rotating stuff, but I think it'd still be fun to try. Just a constantly shifting S-Mail as we use it. Like this, for example. Just see the blades going everywhere. Sewer Maelstrom again, and yeah, even though it's not even close to the mobs here, I think it was a fun choice. Alright, final stretch, boys. These DT rounds are going to be really scary, so hopefully you have enough in the tank. Sky Shredder and Pod is a pretty good DT damager, but it might not be enough for ramping, as you see. They're getting really far for this round, but we do have enough. However, this round, though, even more fortified DTs. I will use my Snowstorm here, right? Yeah, we'll use it now. We'll use Sod ability to hopefully clutch up, and there we go. Nicely done. One round I'm definitely not sure about, though, is this round, because I only have Sky Shredder. The other towers aren't very good, so maybe I'll have to sell some stuff just to beat this round. Let's see. Right now, I'm trying to get a first strike. I got one of them. We'll see if that's enough to take us home. We'll probably need a little bit more than that. How is our damage so far? Terrible. We beat the first bad, but nah, no way we beat the second and third. Let's try it again. Alright, attempt number 5,000 at this run. It's looking pretty good so far, with 2 bats taken down, but of course, that's not the end. I had to sell my pod, which is my SRAM DPS. Let's use a Snowstorm here. Solid ability. Ooh, I didn't know if they use it there. That's gonna suck. Because I think I need it for the last one here. Let's see. Spike Storm. Solid ability. Okay. And we can probably take it all from here. Watch this, guys. So, S-Mail. Spike Storm now. And then we have 2 Snowstorms to work with. 1. And I don't need the second. Very nice. Very nice. You guys have no idea how long that round took. But yeah, it looks like I severely underestimated the difficulty of how this mob is going to be. Because I thought, I mean, this is a pretty easy map. And it's only Pulpa mode. I've done that plenty of times, right? And with, you know, no extra income. That was probably the real killer. Because, yeah, it's really hard to win when your towers are in severely unoptimal placements, as you see right now. But yeah, let's just finish this round off here. Very simple round, and there we go. Hope you enjoyed the mod as much as I did. Shouts out to Timothy again for making this one. Alright, today we have another tower mod to showcase, and this one's called the Attack Drone. It comes equipped with 15 upgrades, 3 pads, no paragons, but regardless, still a lot of content for us to go through. But yeah, this is basically if Etienne's drones became an actual tower themselves, and we're gonna go ahead and check it out on this map. This one has 3 different lanes, so the reason I picked it was because I guess you could see how the drone targets the pursuit. I believe it has the same targetings as a heli pilot. See pursuit, follow mouse, lock in place, patrol points. In fact, even the icons are pretty much the same as a heli pilot. I remember seeing all these icons from the heli. It's also cool to see how fast you can travel between lanes. That's also the reason why this map is the best for this drone. Now, which one do we want to get? Do we want increased pierce? Do we want increased range? Or do we want faster fans? I know faster fans isn't the best option, but who doesn't want to see an even faster moving drone? To see that, going from A to B to C, and then back to B, back to A. Not gonna lie, pretty fun tower to look at. Now, what about tier 2 bottom path? Accelerated coils allow for faster loading of munitions, so basically faster attack speed. Anyways, I'm thinking we'll need more than one drone, because as you see, even for round 9, it's starting to get overwhelmed, because it has to keep traveling in different places. Let's have 2 of them pursuit now. You see the difference between how slow one is and how fast the one that was upgraded was. Now we're starting to struggle, but I don't have enough money to upgrade yet, so I might need to go for a 3rd drone. Maybe having 1 locked in place for 1 lane is better. In fact, we do have 3 drones, so technically we could do 1 drone for every lane. But I don't think that's a good idea, just because, well, there's no targeting to have a pursuit only in 1 lane. It would have to be locked in place on one side, which wouldn't be the best for this map. As you see, I'm trying to stay alive here, but nah, this round's gonna kill me. Well, not kill me, but next round definitely will, so let me see. I'm thinking if we can't beat it, we'll sell one of the drones for the acceleration upgrade. We're pretty close to beating it, though. I have 1 on follow mouse, by the way. Unfortunately, really not enough lives. Let's start with Pierce, actually. I think Pierce might help, because I think the darts only have 2 Pierce at the moment, if they're at base 000. And now, the next upgrade for tier 2 top path, if we can look, is homing darts, which would also be very helpful to maximize Pierce. Let's see if we can buy homing darts mid-round. There we go. Oh yeah, huge difference there. We're still losing a few lives, but still alive, so I'll take it. And now I'm looking at Laser Blaster. This one's pretty cheap relative to the coils. This one just shoots lasers instead of darts. I think it's worth it. I don't have money right now, so I might consider selling this one, the base one, real quick. Just for more upward damage. All we gotta do is pop a purple balloon, so let's see. Oh, this one's still at follow mouse, by the way. I didn't even realize. Well, it looks like the homing laser cannon can do the job. Very nice. Also, I completely forgot about the free dart winky. I figured since we're struggling right now, this would be a pretty big help. I think it's enough to beat the yellows here. We have 16 lives spare if we add mana shield. I think we got it. Nice. Now, question is, can we pop lead balloons? Because I don't think lasers pop them. Oh, no, they can. This one's different than the laser can from the Dartling gun, I guess. Now, also, I'm thinking about dropping Geraldo. It might be a little bit late, but I might need the camo potion around 33. That would be some nice cheap camo to allow my drone to attack it. Now, if we can beat this round, I can get this next round. 5 lives left. Come on. Nice. So let's go ahead and get more attack speed on the laser pursuit. Now we should be looking a lot better. 9k for our next upgrade is a little bit steep, so let's go ahead and start with middle path on this guy. So what does middle path do? Well, drone detection, if you can survive this round, allows it to shoot camo. Okay, so there's our camo, but I prefer the accelerated reload. So yeah, let me just see what tier 3 is though. Perhaps we can get something useful. Bars of Blast, which freezes balloons instead of darts. Okay, so this is basically a support path, which I guess would be helpful considering, well, yeah, we gotta slow one side down, right? Take care of one loop at a time, because right now it seems like there's just too many lanes for one drone to handle. And we might die to this round. Very close. We're losing a mana shield. I think if we can afford it, we'll buy it this round. Come on. Control air system. Just got it. So it's basically a, what do you call it? A full map range drone move-in chrono cannon, looks like. I also wonder if it's even worth it going for increased pierce and the seeking, because, like, it's not even a projectile anymore. Rather, it can't seek. It can't pierce through balloons, right? Therefore, going for faster fans might be better. Let's go ahead and buy it. Unfortunately, for 3k, it doesn't seem to be helping us very much. We're still almost dead to 38. I don't like this at all, guys. Probably dead at 39 here, right? Yeah. Folks, I think we'll get working on a bottom path third tier then. So, I already got the bomb tune this one. Rocket pods is, just add a few rockets inside. So, probably just a rocket storm ability, or rather hydro rocket ability. Round 40 seems to be alright. But yeah, this is a bit disappointing for the cost, I would say. Alright, so let's get the rocket pod, and let's see it in action. That is, if you can even see it, because I don't see what it's doing right now. Hang on. Alright, let's see something. Okay, there we go, there we go. So, it's not like the Hydra rocket pod. It's actually just Etienne's UCAV, but very slow attacking. Yeah, it seems to have the main dart that has, like, what, 2 pierce? And then on top of that, it has the very occasional rocket ability. Only one of them, so it doesn't really do a whole lot. Guess I'll go ahead and buy 2 or 3, because I'll just buy a Camo Village for them. That should be the easiest way instead of wasting money in the middle cross path and utility. So which of these tier 4 should we go for first? So we got laser targeting, which advanced sensors allow for targeting of certain balloons in weak spots, trimming fortification off small balloons. Well, this could be good, although I don't know if it actually does a whole lot of extra damage. Seems like a lot of utility in that fortification D-strip. Alternatively, we go for overclock coils. This allows for faster reload, and probably your best bet if we want guaranteed DPS also. Are we down to recros here? I think we are, yeah. I think we'll go for jungle drums this round, and then if we need it, we'll make sure to drop some Gerald glue for the regrows. But no, it seems like, wow, jungle drums makes a big difference. That's just 15% attack speed. But yeah, they didn't even get through like the third loop on all the loops here. So let's get it. I'll do overclock coils for the guaranteed DPS. And now you definitely see more rockets going out more frequently. I have UCAV when we have UCAV at home. Now, it looks like we're starting to stall now, so let's go for the laser targeting. And I think it's doing more damage if we're just looking at the pop count, for sure. It now applies laser shock to the mob class balloons too, if you're noticing. Tier 5s are a bit expensive for a Lycan, so I guess we'll see what the last tier 4 has to offer. Over range. This one can target monkey to see further for 60 seconds. Okay, so it's like overclock, but worse. I do kind of wonder how much more range it gets, though. But to do that, we will need to drop another tower. Let me just see if this can beat 63. I think finally the middle path will come in handy with the freezing of the ceramics, as you see. DPS-wise, I'm definitely sure that the UCAV is outperforming the laser targeting, although I did get this a little bit later. Well, I guess we're gonna test it on any tower. Let's say the village first. So let's buy it over range. Let's use the ability on the village, and wait, that's a lot of range. Hold up. Well, I guess that's the reason why it costs so much money for just range, because like, yeah, if you're going to not give anything other than range, it better be a lot of it. So that would be really good for stuff like Tank Shooter, right? That has a tiny range at first. So let me just see. So it turns this to this, okay. What if I buy longer range upgrades? Okay, now we're talking. Still not as big as I'd like it to be, but we're going somewhere. It also seems like it lasts a really long time, because it's round 69, we still have it. It must have been at least 2 minutes that we've had the ability on. Let me just fast forward and see when it wears out. Okay, round 70. So not only does it give a lot of range, it lasts a lot longer than Nova Clock, which I guess in that case makes sense. I think now we should get some actual DPS on these drones, though. So, Hyper Threader is the cheapest one. Bottom path tier 5. The greatest monkey engineers have an annual competition to compete the best attack drone. And this is the winner of the 2022 events. Well, let's give it a go, and I'm fully expecting to just turn to a permanent UCAV. Well, I look to be correct so far. If we just unpursued it, have it follow mouse, you can see that, yeah, it just has a hypersonic drone, actually. Hypersonic Sea King darts, and then the occasional UCAV. Not too shabby. I can certainly see why this one won the event. Now, our next upgrade would be Dr. Death's Death Ray. New advancement in miniature reactors allow the attack drone to shoot a continuous beam of energy which annihilates balloons. 86k. Better be better than a Ray of Doom, given the cost of it. And then while we're saving up, we could take a look at Ultra Range real quick. It's just an ability that makes it see even further. AK the monkey has laser eye surgery. Does it really give only range? Well, actually, I'm gonna buy it first, because I'm pretty sure, well, this Hyper Threader is going to last just a while. So let's actually start with a lower range tack shooter. Infinite range or bust. Oh wait, it's not that big. Oh, sorry, I misread. It's not more range, but I can see further forever, so it's like a permanence. It's like perma-brew, but you have to target it like an overclock. Now that's pretty good. I wonder if this applies to the drones too. Like, if you give it more range, will it be able to target from far away? Because, like, for example, if I take this guy, Hyper Threader, see, he doesn't shoot right now. If I give it range... Oh, yep, that definitely helps a lot, see? It's able to shoot from far away. So I can maybe even just lock in place. And it'll be able to target all 3 lanes by default. Just watch. In fact, same with these guys. Let's put them all lock place right in the middle. Like that. Make sure to give boost to all of them too. Actually, hold up a second. It seems like we ran out of the range boosts. Wait. I thought it was permanent. Was I lied to? See, now that the attacks are gone, they don't have the range anymore. This is weird. Yeah, I see. It already ran out before we even have the ability up again, so... I think there must be a bug or something. Well, there's no icon, but you see the range is still bigger. I guess it'll eventually go away. I think in that case, perhaps we'll go back to Pursuit. Yeah, for now, until I figure out what's going on. Okay, and we're slowly getting overwhelmed, so I think it's that time, boys. Let's buy the Death Ray. And let's see it in action. So from what I see, well, it's a Seeking Beam. Like a mini Ray of Doom. Or actually kind of like if Ray of Doom met Adore's Ball of Light. In fact, it might just be a reskinned Ball of Light. See the one concentrated beam? Does some pretty okay DPS. I wonder if you Ultra Range it, does it also... yeah, you can definitely shoot from far away, that's nice. See if we beat 95 here, come on, Laser Beam. I got an Follow Mouse, just to help for DTs this round. I believe it only targets first, does it? Yeah, okay. A lot of mobs left to go here, come on, darts. You can do it, you can do it. Alright, you did it. So I'm gonna sell this thing. Maybe if I stopped at tier 4, there's some sort of bug. I doubt it though, but I'll try again, just in case. Yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but this feels a bit underwhelming for over double the cost of this guy, which is doing way more. Now, let's give it back an Ultra Range, see if it changes anything. Watching the icon. Nope, seems to go away. Not permanent. I was lied to. Anyways, let's check back on the pop count. Okay, maybe now it's catching up slowly, because obviously this lane was bought way earlier. Now it's only 300k pops behind. I think it is helping us beat DDTs here, right? Let's use the Ultra Range ability to see if it does anything. Close call for 99. Now's our BAD damage. This one's doing about 500. This one's doing a little bit less than 500. Regardless, still enough damage to take it down, and I'm gonna go ahead and buy P-Brew. Let's give him even more buffs. I guess the cool thing you can do with the Ultra Range plus P-Brew is I can give him more range so he can perm brew these towers without having to buy a Chinook. It's like a more expensive Chinook. And I guess now that we've seen everything that the drones have to offer, let's just range boost some crazy stuff. Like, how about Attack Zone this round? Oh crap, the attacks don't even reach. Okay. So they give it more range, but they don't give it more lifespan, which makes it relatively useless. I mean, at least we still have a P-Brew on it, so it still kind of reaches. Actually, let me give a P-Mentoring. There we go. There's more range for ya. Update. Okay, it looks like the attacks actually do kind of reach now. I don't know what changed, but I rebuffed it. Seems to be doing fine. What's not fine is the DT is, so let's go for a Homeland buff. make the drones even stronger. You guys want to see 2 drones shred? Well, let's use the ability right now. And watch damage go. It still seems like Hyper Threader is, like, ahead in the Death Ray. Again, look at the pops. It actually pulled away by a lot now. I'm not sure if this works with a range, but what if we did Super Brittle? Let's do a 5-2-0. Give it Ultra Range. I assume it does apply the debuff to the balloons outside. I see the pop count's going up, so I'd have to assume that's the case. I think the Seeking of the homing darts is what's making this probably a lot better than the Death Ray, because we're maximizing the DPS. And let's end 120 off here, and with that, that is the drone tower, folks. A very fun one. Hope you enjoyed, and once again, thanks Liam for creating the mod. And as always, you can find the mod links in the descriptions, in case you're wondering how to get them, how to play with them. One final pop count check, 3.5 million, 4.8, and a very sad 35. But again, this was just for support. Too bad I didn't even do the support right. Well guys, they finally did it. They turned this into a boss. So welcome to what is probably going to be the spiciest mod yet. Basically, we have the Eyesaw the Fortress boss, and to spawn it, we need to get a level 20 Sada and a Flying Fortress in this one game. First off, I want to give a big shout out to the creator of this mod, Dat Jane, though, for creating this. And also for Tootie for coming up with this idea, because, yeah, he was the mastermind behind all of this, guys. He actually sent this mod to me so that I could check out for myself, and, well, let's check it out now. And, of course, because it's fitting, we're playing on the Spiced Islands map, because, you know, I've always wanted to be on an island with Sada, and this will be your chance. Also, you might notice there is a bit of text on the top side of the screen. That's because there are modifiers to make this boss, or make this mod a little bit more interesting. Basically, every 10 rounds, we have a different modifier on the screen. So right now, you just see damaging balloons pushes them forward. So you can't really see it right now, but if you pop that blue balloon, it does go up forward a little bit. I actually can't really tell here. Actually, if I'm reading this correctly, I believe this really only applies to Moabs. So, because, you know, each of these balloons only have 1 HP, they won't move forward because they get popped to a new balloon already. So, luckily, well, we got pretty lucky again with this debuff. We probably won't get lucky after this round. We'll see what we get. What is it? Balloons are immune to debuffs. Okay. So, in case you guys don't know what debuffs are, it's basically just slows, stuns, all that stuff. So, I don't think glue works also. Anything that, you know, adds some texture to the balloon. So, like an acid, a glue. All of that is strictly off limits. Now, shall we get to farming? I'm gonna do Merchantman because, well, it is Spice Island after all. Also, looks like for the 20s, we have a halved projectile pierce. I guess that just means, well, half the pierce for every tower here, which the sniper doesn't care about because, you know, it already has 1 pierce. Unless it, occasionally shoots 0 damage shots, but it looks like it's still working, so that's good. Alrighty, guys, what do we get after round 30? Balloons take 1 less damage. Okay, wait, does that mean if... Oh my god, if we have a 1 damage tower... Wait, hold on. Let me get this thing. This then. Sword? Wait, is the sword even doing damage? Okay, this is definitely the worst possible debuff to ever get. Holy. I think definitely snipers are the way to counter this, because, yeah, most things have 1 damage. Alright, guys, quickly, what does more than 1 damage? Oh, Arcane Mastery. Quickly, I can't afford it. I'll sell this. Don't I dare die here. There we go. I think this Arcane Mastery does 3 damage, so it goes down to 2 now. This should hopefully help us get past the early game. So I think we'll still have this debuff going to round 40, which means I should probably buy this thing, because 20 damage per shot, doing 19, it'll pretty much be untouched with this debuff. So that'll be an easy way to beat the round. No point really using the Leaping Sword, since I think it does pretty much 0 damage. And we survive. Now what do we get? Balloons to get a head start? Oh, I see. They're now spawning over here. That's fine still. That's like, what, a quarter of the track? Spice Islands is already pretty damn long, so... Yeah, I think we're good here, guys. We're good to keep on farming. Also for this run, ideally, I won't need to pump anything into Sada. I've already pumped enough as it is. But I think she'll naturally get level 20 on an intermediate map. I'd say around 90 to 100. I don't remember the exact hero scaling, but that's probably the round I'm gonna aim for. Okay, what do we get now? Round 51, balloons are immune to long-range attacks. Hold on now, hold on. So this does no damage, right? Uh-oh. Well, luckily, Sada is nice and short range, so she's doing full DPS. I think I'll just get maybe a wall of fire. I wonder how far away is considered long range. I believe in the description it says 40 units. I don't know what how much 40 units is in this game. But it kind of feels like some of the darts aren't doing any damage, so I guess the boat is bigger than 40 range. Also, am I dead here? I'm going to probably have to use, Leaping Sword. Wow, those pinks. Unlucky. Okay, this long-range debuff is actually really bad for us, because our sniper, which usually does good mob damage, is not doing anything at all. Maybe a, what do you call it? A stun would help. Also, I'm losing so many lives, this is sad. How about if I outbuff attack? Surely, that would do enough, right? Also, does sword do anything? Oh, I think sword is completely useless, guys. I'm almost dead here also, what the hell? Sword is useless because it's a super long range, and I think it counts Sawed as range. Also, I don't know why I dropped 2 towers, because Sawed is supposed to be on our own island. I'm sorry, Sawed, for treating you poorly. But unfortunately, we do need some help here. Also, I'm a greedy mofo, so I'm gonna see him get away with the Trade Empire this round. I may very well regret this decision. Also, I'll use Sword Charge or the Leaping Sword while it's still in range. Let's get a Recursive Cluster quickly. No, I got greedy. Alright, how about now? There we go. Good enough. And now we have this. Oh, damaging balloons push them forward. So you see the Moabs? Oh yeah, that is the problem for sure. Well, that's why I should get a main mob then, right? On strong. And there we go. Well, guys, how much money do you think is enough? Is it time we go for the Flying Fortress now? We're already in round 80. We now have half projectile pierce. I feel like we should still be fine. Actually, I think I might consider getting some more income first, just because I've been tipped off that this boss may have quite a hefty amount of HP. So how about you go for some central markets, which I'm going to need to, you know, drop a lot of ice platforms for, because this is a Spice Island, sadly. Now we have a debuff that balloons take 1 less damage. So once again, we gotta get the high damaging towers. And well, guys, I think I have just the tower. Why don't we just get mad? Because this thing does already, what, 550 damage? Got nerfed, but, you know, 550 minus 1, 549. I'm sure we can handle a 0.2% damage decrease. Well, round 100, guys, we got level 20 Sawda finally. So, do you think it's time? Somewhere in the next 10 rounds, we should start, getting up that boss bond. What's our next one, though? I'm just curious. Balloons get a head start. Okay. We can probably live with this debuff for the next 10 rounds. I was thinking, if you got a really bad debuff, then I would absolutely, you know, blow it. But I think I might want to just save up a little bit more money. Alright, guys, I think I'm ready. After this round, no matter what the debuff is, I think we're just going to go for it. In fact, yeah, this is a pretty bad debuff. Immune to long-range attacks. We kind of need the mat to do good damage, so... Alright, I should mention that once we spawn the boss, the debuffs go away, which is why they matter to me. So with that said, yeah, it's about time. We got a $750,000. Surely that's enough. Let's spawn it, guys. The Eyesaw Fortress. Now, I actually forgot to mention that it takes, we have to beat the round first in order to spawn the boss, so hopefully this thing can start doing damage. What is 40 range even? Come on, still doing no damage. Okay, now it's doing damage. It's a really tiny radius, actually, so I actually have a good idea for a tower. Just for the purpose of this round, how about attack zone, guys? Attack zone. Looks like I'm still dead. I'm gonna snowstorm the heck out of that. Oh no, we're leaking. How about impale? Quickly. Holy crap. It saved it. We actually gotta tank the Moab, but it's fine. Well, I don't know if I give you this last part here. There's so many Moabs, come on. I don't know how many snowstorms can really do. Again, Sawda's abilities don't do anything. We're down to 114 lives. I gotta keep snowstorming for the Moabs here. I think we're probably dead, though. No, so close. Actually, hold on. Can I get a Star Bomber? Nope, not in time. Oh, actually, it appears as though I've spawned the boss already because I continued the round, and technically we have the towers enabled or drop down. So, let's see. Well, I don't know if you guys can see it under or behind all those UMGs, but it looks like that is indeed the Eyesaw Fortress. And it's exactly as we expected it. Now, I should mention, here's a good time to talk about how this boss works. Basically, the Eyesaw Fortress throws Sawdas, sitting Sawdas, at all my towers, and the debuff is that they get half the speed if they're thrown on it. However, you can get rid of the sitting Sawdas by buffing them. Now, I know my towers would probably prefer to have Sawda sit on them, but I think I'd rather have them do damage. Also, let's take a look at the HP. It's actually only 3.5 million, so I thought it was going to be a lot more than that. Luckily, not the case, so I wonder if we could just mat it down. And yeah, I think this counts as a buff, right? So that means we cannot possibly have Sada sit on the big mat here. Also, I'm kind of curious about this. Can we get another Sada to attack the Sada sitting on the fortress? Yes, we have. Yes, we do have indeed. There is another little thing with this boss, in that at certain health intervals, it will drop a bunch of pineapples on the screen that I have to attack. And if I don't attack in time, I'm going to lose a lot of lives. Now, since I have enough money, why don't we just go for Paragon? I have enough money for a Dark Paragon, right? So I think that would just do some massive damage to it. Let's go for it now. I'll do it in the back because this boss is already getting pretty far. Alright, let's do it. Degree 20 at least, right? Oh, what? 19? Unlucky. Well, either way, we should just play this like we do a normal boss. So let's plow it down, shall we? Let's get the super brittle wherever we can. We have the cripple mob. We have a glue storm too. We gotta get that. Yes, indeed. We should also recruit the big plane to attack the big plane. And okay, I don't know if this is actually coded as a boss or not, but I feel like this Dart Monkey, this Dart Paragon isn't doing enough damage. Is it just me, guys? But it's taking so long. Still at 3.1 million HP. Well, do you guys think it's too late to go for a Bull Paragon? Because that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I need to sell a lot of my farms for it though, so let's get ready. I'm just gonna start getting rid of all of them, alright? So sell all the O2 first. That gets us to 500k. Exactly, perfect. Now, I don't know if there's enough track left to beat this, but we'll try our best anyways, alright? Here we go. Paragon, Bull Paragon, and Dark Paragon. For the boss here. Also, we lost lives, apparently. I wasn't really paying attention to where the pineapple bombs were dropping. But either way, we got the Bull Paragon now, and how we doing? Can we take her down? I know I'm also missing a Super Brittle, which is why I'll go for it right now. I don't have the money for it because it's all on my farms. Alright. We sacrificed all the boats, too, with the Bull Paragon. Can we hook, wait. Did I just cheese it, guys? I actually didn't mean to. Oh, no. We just gobbled up the Eyesaw fortress. That's the biggest cheese if I've ever seen one. Well, guys, the big ship just ate the big ship. Isn't that fitting? Well, what's funny is that even though the boss is dead, the sitting Sadas are still on a lot of the towers because I didn't outbuff them to get rid of it. I guess I'll do that right now. Be gone. I do want to see if we can get another shot at beating this though, so I'm going to wait for level 20 Sada again, plus Flying Fortress, and I guess we'll see, well, if it spawns again. If it doesn't, then that'll be the end. That'll be the end of this very weird mod. Alright, so we have level 20 Sada again, and we have the money for a Flying Fortress, so let's just try it again, see if it spawns. Looks like, no, it only spawns once during the entire run. Let's just see if this round ends. Oh, actually, no, it comes back again. And in fact, it looks like the HP actually scales with rounds, so that's actually pretty clever. So guys, take two. This time I will not use the big ship to take down the big ship. We will take it down with normal raw damage. Well, bad news first off is that I literally sold off all my farms, so I can't get any more than 2 Paragons. So they have to do 8 million damage. If they don't, well then, we can't beat it. Well guys, I'm taking a look at this, and it still doesn't look like we have enough damage, even with 2 freaking Paragons. I think if anything, I probably should have just gone for a Vengeful True Sun God, and that probably would have killed the Eyesaw Fortress. Again, take a look here. We do not have enough in the tank to beat the Eyesaw Fortress, and what does it do to us? What does it do to us once it leaks? Game over, it seems. RIP. 40,000 lives taken away. Well, that's gonna do it, guys. Again, big shouts out to Jane and Judy for the creation of this mod, and of course, letting our memes not just be dreams. And if you too would like to be stuck on Island Sada, then leave a like, and your wish will be granted. I promise. Until next time, peace out.